All right. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We got Coach Van Horn here. He'll get us going and then questions. Coach.
Yeah, just fall ball's winding down. It's been a good fall. Guys worked extremely hard. It's been different fall for us. We've changed a lot of things up, and it's been pretty competitive. Looking forward to having an opportunity to play some innings against outside competition this weekend and kind of finish things up, wrap things up as far as team practice, and then we'll get into basically the segment where we're working on a lot of position things, infielders with infielders, and that type of stuff. So yeah, ready to go.
Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, Dave, you said it's been a different fall ball in a lot of ways. Could you share some ways it's been different?
Yeah, just worked on having scrimmage as much. That's probably the first thing I could tell you that, we don't have the near as many at bats as we've had probably the previous 7 or 8 falls here. Normally probably around 80 at bats is what you'd get in the fall. We scrimmage a lot. The guys are mostly 40 at bats maybe. And just because we've done a lot more just practicing. And what I mean by that is, working on skills and really offensively working on other things besides, just hitting, working on a lot of base running and, bunting, things like that. Put in a lot of time with that. So hopefully it'll pay off.
Was that just somewhere you felt like, because you guys have been pretty successful doing it the way you've been doing it, do you just feel like you want to change it up and stress fundamentals more? Or?
Yeah. Yeah. A little bit more. Just, sometimes you assume things as a coach and, the guys, they don't, when you think about the kids we get out of high school, they don't work on a lot of things. And, they probably do in high school, but in summer ball, they just play. So they're not working on refining things like base running and bunting for a hit and maybe even throwing the ball through the cutoff man, whatever. Some organizations are better than others at teaching those things, but we put in a lot of time with that. We just felt like we needed to do that just to make sure we're good at it when spring rolls around.
And so with less scrimmaging, does that put a little more emphasis on these exhibition games, kind of seeing how guys are doing in a, real type game setting, I guess as close as you can get to in practice?
Yeah, the thing about an exhibition game is, our hitters get to see different arms. When you get toward the end of fall ball, they might have seen the same pitcher 4 times, once a week or whatever. Might not be on the same team or face them every weekend, but you're seeing it. And when you're facing outside competition, it's just different feel. Uh, Sometimes you find out some things about guys both ways. Hey, these guys a gamer. Lights come on, here they go, and it's a little different motor. And maybe you find out that some guys are a little bit nervous right now, and this might help them get over it a little bit, heading into the spring.
I'm gonna have a couple more. I'll turn back to Oliver. Thanks, Dave.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Yeah, Dave, after the season ended last year, you talked about the level of athlete you wanted to have in the program and kind of wanting to be more well-rounded as a lineup. And stolen bases are way up this fall, like, almost double what you guys had at this point last year. Do you feel like you accomplished that this offseason after seeing the guys for a few weeks and seeing what they're capable of? Do you feel like you have a more well-rounded lineup this year?
Well, I know that we've worked at it a lot, and we should be able to run when other teams are not paying attention. We're also going to work it into our offense, or we have worked it into our offense a lot more where, maybe we're taking more chances. But it's, in the fall, you're going to run wild. If you think that's what you can do, and that's what we did. But it made us better. Literally the last, I'd say 10 days, our pitchers have done a lot better job of holding runners, being able to defend it. And it helped everybody. It helped us gain a little confidence in stealing bases or having the opportunity to steal them. And then, on the defensive end, pitchers, middle infielders, whoever, covering the base, whatever. It's just been good. It's helped us get better. And yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm trying to hide anything. We feel like we do have some guys that can run, and there's going to be days when the other teams are awfully good on the mound, or things aren't going our way, or the wind's blowing in. We can still hit home runs. We've got power. We've got athletes, and yeah, to answer your question, I feel like with most of the lineups we can put out there, we're going to be a lot better equipped to score runs, so to speak.
And Zach Root, he had a pretty good outing the other day, but he's had a few this fall that didn't really go his way. Just how surprising was that, and how do you feel like he's responded to that adversity in fall ball?
Yeah, I mean, he had one, to me, he had one that didn't go well. We only threw him that one inning because his pitch count got up. But no, I feel like he's fine. His stuff's good. A lot of times these guys come in here, obviously, that have transferred in and they're a little nervous. It's all new for them. Even though they have experience, they need to go through that a little bit. And I think you can credit our offense. I think our offense is pretty good. And they took advantage of some mistakes. And but his last outing, I think he really showed what he was all about. So I mean, as a coach, you're always concerned about everything. That's our job. But honestly, I'm not concerned about him. He's going to be fine.
Kind of going off that, you got him and Landon, who I'm assuming came in hoping to be weekend starters, and then Gackle and Wood seem like guys that are pretty qualified for that spot. Just how have you seen that kind of battle, if you want to call it that, for
Yeah.
those rotation spots play out, and just what have you seen from those four guys in particular?
Yeah, I mean, you name four guys that have a chance to start. Um, Gabe's solidified up there, one or two. He's pitched really well since he walked in the door a year and a half ago. I think Wood has made a big move, and his worst outing in the fall was his last one, and it still was pretty good. Um, Two new guys. I mean, they could start. They could be out of the pen. So could Wood. So could a few other guys. So, uh, yeah, I think everybody's adapted well. Nothing's in stone yet, and even if it was the first weekend of the 25 season, doesn't mean that's the way it's going to go when we get to conference play. I think there's still a lot of jobs to be won, and we'll figure that out as time goes on.
Dudley, go ahead.
It seems you've really hit on the portal guys. Just talk about how important that is to a roster these days, and you can't really miss.
Yeah, it's there's always going to be something happen, whether you get somebody that comes in that you didn't know about an injury, or whether it's a freshman a freshman right out of high school here, or maybe a transfer. There's always some surprises. Sometimes they're better than you think walking in the door. Sometimes it's just they make a jump, and I think we've done a pretty good job of finding some guys that are really going to help us right away. For the most part, it's gone that way the last four years for us. Last year, there was a couple of guys that were beat up or whatever that didn't have great years, but I feel like that, like you said, we've done a pretty good job of getting guys in here that want to get better. They're bringing what they've already got going for them in, and they're letting us coach them, and it's super important. You can't make too many mistakes, and uh, I think if you do make a mistake, you know, guys can help you some way. Maybe not as much as you were hoping, but I feel with this group right now that we have a chance to really elevate where we were last year. We brought in some really, really talented young freshman pitchers that I'm excited about. These guys throw strikes, they compete, they've got good stuff, and it's a really good mix.
And I guess one of the toughest things as a coach is when you've got to get your roster down to take it into the spring. How important is this weekend kind of finishing that off?
Yeah, I mean, you always looking, always watching, always trying to figure it out. Uh, the weekend, yeah, somebody might step up. I don't think anybody's going to change my mind on if they're good enough to make the team or whatever. We've got a lot on our plate going forward with the the possibility of, a 34-man roster next year walking in the door, and you're signing kids in November. You got kids in here now, and there's not a Division I program, at least at the Power Four level, that is not really, really concerned with this. I don't understand it a little bit when it comes to, taking opportunities away from, male baseball player athletes and putting this walking in the door roster on us instead of letting us have more than 34 next August, so to speak. There's going to be hundreds of really good baseball players in programs or coming out of high school that are going to have to find new places to play, or because teams can't get them on their roster now. I don't like the way it's all gone down, and I know I'm rambling. It's another issue that we're dealing with right now. But yeah, it makes it really difficult.
Appreciate it.
Coming back around, Bob.
Yeah, Dave, I'm sure you're going to use a lot of pitchers, but do you know who you're starting Friday? And do you have a starter Saturday, or just kind of wait and see about Saturday?
Well, we'll start, Gackle Friday, and we're planning on pitching tomorrow, like 6 or 7 guys. Could be more, if they make us pitch more because it doesn't go great. We'll do what we need to do. So kind of the way it's going to work, the first game, Friday's game, will be a regular 9 inning game. If somebody wants to run because they have run a player for one of their starting defenders, so to speak, because there's little issues, because I was talking to Coach Holiday yesterday, and I think they've got a guy or two that getting close to maybe hurting a hamstring or something, and I'm all good with it. We don't have that issue yet. Hopefully that doesn't happen today at practice, but they can run somebody, so they'll be a little loose there with the rules, and then, but we'll play 9, and then the way we're going to work it on Saturday is we're going to probably play 10 innings, but we're going to play 2 5-inning games. We talked about this yesterday, and we had talked about it when we originally were making plans to do this and to play a little bit more than maybe 9 innings. So we decided to go 10. So at the end of 5 innings of the first game on Saturday, we'll take a 10 or 15-minute break, let them fix the field again, and then we'll start up as soon as we can and play 5 more and finish it up.
And you probably plan to play most of your position guys, give everybody some at bats and some time in the field.
Not necessarily. Not everybody.
Okay.
So,
And then somebody's why I think Andrew's not, the other Andrew is doing something, but he had some personnel questions because I haven't paid as much attention. But I guess he asked about Rocco Pepe. I know he didn't scrimmage Friday. Is he okay, or is he dealing with some health stuff?
yeah, he tweaked something in his back. So he's real close. I mean, he would have been a guy that probably at a minimum would have been our starting designated hitter this weekend. But I don't think, as of yesterday, he's ready to go yet. He hasn't taken batting practice in about a week now. So we're just letting him heal up. But yeah, that's kind of his situation.
Okay, and then Brenton Clark, I think he started, but I was not out there Sunday, but Daniel or somebody said he fouled a pitch off his leg or foot or something. Is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine.
So he can play. And
Yeah.
then Dietz, does he need surgery, or what's he doing?
He's he does he already had surgery.
Okay, well, okay.
Yeah,
So he hadn't
he's
done it.
fine.
Yeah,
He's
sorry.
slowly getting there, and he's going to be a big part of our staff.
Is he going to be okay for the spring?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, as of now, yeah.
And I think the guy I was thinking of was Cooper Dossett. I was getting my D guys mixed up.
Yeah. Cooper had surgery.
Okay,
He's done for the year.
okay? He's done for the year. And then I guess I forgot about this, but Jason Jones transferred over to Oklahoma State. I have no idea if he's playing over there or doing anything, but have you kept track of him, or maybe you're going to see him this weekend?
Well, I think some of the guys have obviously stay in touch with him. I think he's battling for that third base spot over there. I don't know if he's their starter, or I don't know his situation, but yeah, he's at Oklahoma State, and hopefully it goes well for him. His junior year.
And then how did obviously there are a lot of good teams in the area, and you guys have played Oklahoma State before. Was there a particular reason why this worked out to play them, or did you reach out to other teams, or it just kind of was the best fit?
Well, we were going to play in Omaha in an event, and they were supposed to be there with us. Uh, Both of our football teams have a bye weekend, and when it got canceled up there in Omaha, about right before school started, just talked with them, and we almost got Nebraska to come down here as well, but that kind of fell through. Those are the teams that were going to play up there. So Oklahoma State was close. They wanted to play, and kind of started out, we are going to play on Friday. Then we, thought about why not play again on Saturday, and they were all for it. And for them to take a road trip and kind of get the feel for playing on the road, and I'm sure we'll have a pretty good amount of fans out there. It'll be good experience for both teams that way.
You said Friday night that lineup was pretty much, your starters right now, and obviously guys like Diggs is out, and he'll be a starter, I assume. But do you plan to start the same lineup Friday this Friday as you did last Friday, pretty much?
Yeah, it'll be real close. Maybe one change, but unless something happens today in our workout, we'll pretty much go with that.
Okay, I'm good. Thanks.
Okay.
Mason?
Yeah, Coach, with Dossett, I just wanted to confirm, was that Tommy John, and when did that happen? I might have missed it.
Well, it happened last year at Texas A&M, and it wasn't completely torn. It was just kind of weak, and they thought they could rehab it back, and it didn't. It just too much pain in there, and it was bothering him, and kind of to the point where we went in and had it evaluated again, and it had gotten a little bit worse. So just decided to get it fixed. And you can talk to Corey about all the details, my trainer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's close it out if you got anything.
Yeah, Coach Kahio Aloy, it took him, I guess, a couple weeks to get going in fall ball a little bit, but then he went through a stretch where it was like everything coming off his bat was 114. It seems like him and Michael Anderson bring similar skill sets there at first base. Do you see a ton of separation between those two guys?
Well, Michael's a better defender, and Aloy, he's still learning the position. He may end up being an outfielder down the road. Last year at BYU, he just DH'd. He didn't really do anything, and they signed him as a pitcher, if that tells you anything. So they didn't have him hit in the fall. And so he had a lot of time off from swinging the bat, trying to become a pitcher. And yeah, so he had he had a couple really good weeks there. Last week it didn't go great for him, but he's definitely a threat at the plate, and he doesn't get cheated, pretty good eye, but he's had some really good days. And you'll see him this weekend, probably DHing a little bit.
All right, Coach. Thanks for your time. We'll see you this weekend.
Okay, guys. See you.